We can dance if you want to. We can leave your friends behind. Because your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
Kill it with fire!
Hello, my dear beloved chat. Apparently, even Jenrit's over here saying hi, digging in his ball pit. As always, we have my co host, Antwon.
Hello?
Hello. And
Oh, you're right. I am a little grainy, but that's fine.
I'm sorry. I promise I didn't mean to.
No, I understand you want to make yourself look pretty and creepy and everything. I'm the one, the cyber demon that has to be all grainy and everything. It's fine. Fine.
Maybe next week I can get it fixed. I don't know. I can't promise. The computer hates me. Or you. Maybe it's you.
Normally, computers like me, but yours may have an issue.
Mine has an issue with everybody, let's be honest. But then again, if I'm staring at Alpha Dom for the last like 3 hours, I would have an issue too.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. I came across Alpha Dom. I guess we're just jumping right into it. I came across Alpha Dom about 2 weeks ago because of another YouTuber that I just randomly came across that had something to do with this person is a blight on the community.
That's an
Those are
understatement.
always fun videos. So the community, for those of you who don't know, are the BDSM community. Um, I don't know how much I really want to get into it, but I am part of said community. Now, I don't go to parties or anything like that. I used to really be in the scene when I was younger.
I would like to
Um,
point out that
but
both of us was in the scene.
so
But not together. By
hearing
not any stretch of the means. Don't think that internet. Bad internet.
so I've been oh god, I have been a dom since I was 18 years old. I am going to be 43 in August. So I've been one for a while. Now, I listened to this video that this woman did. I don't remember her name, but she was very nice, very insightful, and Alpha Dom decided to start making grandiose claims that I know for a fact are, well, to put it frankly, bullshit. There are. So, I will be doing a video on him because apparently not only is Alpha Dom just a complete nutter, but he is also using red pill talking points to spread his message. So Alpha Dom just happens to be right up my alley.
Yeah. And
He also apparently accepts any and all criticism as quote unquote trolling. They're just whoever it is, they're just trolling.
yeah, no, he does not. I could prove right now he does not. With 2 videos, I can prove right now he does not take criticism. He will hide all forms of criticism with 2 videos right now on TikTok, but I have to go back to the search part. I mean, those 2 videos are literally right next to each other and right on the top. You have Bar Nuns for a video, and then you have the 2 videos that literally debunks him on criticism and all that.
Well, before we get to the criticism of him, I think we should actually show people what Alpha Dom has to say.
Well, yeah, I would like to point out that I have known this fucker since he went viral like 2 months ago on TikTok. No, take that back. March. So a
So,
while.
I,
Yeah.
I, I know he's gone viral for certain things he's said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certain things
Do,
like
do, do we want.
claims he's made and things like that. So let's first get what he said.
You know what? Oh, I will just play the bar none version of the first video that he went viral for because you can't find this video anymore on his TikTok page. I wonder why.
All right.
But before I do that, I had a request from my favorite half of you. She wants me to ask about tentacles.
We don't talk about the tentacles.
Oh, we don't want to go down the hentai path.
Well, all right. So let's just, for clarity's sake, let's just say that, being the cyber demon that I am, I have access to many, many, many different things, and one of them that I learned how to do really quickly is to produce tentacles. So I can grow 4 other appendages at any time.
No hentai. Okay, chat. Alrighty.
Ishta is wondering why she got timed out though.
I am
I
too.
figured it's I figured it's well. Your bot said it was streamed out, timed out because she cussed.
3 messages were deleted by moderator. Stream elements timed out Ishtar for 300 seconds. Um, this is kind of why I wanted to make sure she was a moderator. Give me a sec. I
It.
will fix it.
You are just too extreme for stream elements there, Ishtar. You and your dirty, dirty mouth.
Oh my. Sorry, guys. You guys are going to hear repeating back and forth because I'm currently messing with my channel looking for my chat. Where is my chat? There's my chat. Now, where is. I said mute. Nobody wants to hear my stream twice. I barely want to hear it the first time.
So I do have to ask, how did the clips go on TikTok? I have been considering doing a TikTok,
Oh,
but
TikTok has a tendency of being able to go a lot further. It is good for definitely for getting out there. It has a better networking, I guess you could say, findability than any other platform.
well, I have 2 ideas. The first one, of course, is promoting my channel, which is important. I mean, that's what I do. But the second one, I was thinking about. I told you I'm writing a book, so I was thinking about what is it called? Booked. Everything has a talk at the end of it.
Yes, book
Book
talk
talk.
is. You would actually love book talk. I will not lie on that. You would love book talk, but I will warn you there's some aspects of book talk that is very much in the smut.
I don't mind smut. Everybody likes smut.
I mean, yes, I write smut, so you do have to deal with it. You do hear a lot of my creativities.
Technically, I'm well. I can't say technically. I was asked to do a smut short story, so I may um, I may do that.
I think you have some fun with it, honestly.
Yes, Ishtar's list of smut is huge. She reads nothing but smut. It's really disturbing. You should see her library. She has a library of books, just all of these books, and I kid you not, like 3/4 of them are all Fabio on the front cover holding some form of half-naked woman.
There. She should be modded now and not have to be timed out. Yes! Okay. Take that, stupid bot!
When you have to be entertained when I bore you. All right, Ishtar, I see you.
Hey,
Don't worry.
Ishtar! I have a nice, lovely book that I wrote that I could send to you.
All right.
Anyways,
Let's
Barnun.
let's talk about
You do
Alpha Dog.
not have to accept her rejection.
Huh.
That line alone is what started everybody to pay attention to him.
Yeah, the YouTuber that I watched this did bring up him saying that. He got so much pushback, that's why he took the video down. Look, the BDSM community is probably one of, if not the safest swinger sexual alternate communities to be a part of. The reason why is because it's all about consent. You have to consent to do things. You have to consent to say, yes or no, I want to do this, or things like that. Telling someone flat out, oh, you don't have to accept her rejection of you, regardless of how he's about to justify it, is wrong. Because he's going to justify it.
Not really. It gets worse. But let Barnon talk, and then it goes back to him.
Are you fucked? That's an odd start. Let's see where it goes.
I'm a professional dating coach, and I teach guys how to understand the female mind.
I hate how he moves his hands. I don't know why, for lack of a better word, it gives me the ick. The way he moves his hands. Anyways.
Professional.
The fact that he's a dating coach. The fact that he's a quote unquote dating coach.
Oh, I think you'll love Barnon's little response back then, though.
Seems crazy.
All right.
Dating seems unlikely. And coach, I wouldn't trust you with your best-looking cousin, let alone a T-ball team. But I digress.
Here's an example.
Like I said, I think you like Barnon's response to that.
To be fair, I wouldn't want him anywhere near a T-ball team. I don't think he's allowed near schools.
Oh, I forgot what the redeeming thing. I was going to play my sound, but I don't remember. It's the redeeming thingy. Anyways.
Talking to a girl.
Unlikely. Sorry, keep going.
And she said, I'm not really interested.
That makes more
sense.
sense.
Instead of just going, okay, and then just turning away, I did this. Why would you not be interested in me? I'm the best.
What? Why? I'm sure there's a long list on why.
I mean, he is just the epitome of a manly man. His soft jaw and chubby cheeks, and the gangly way he moves about. So yeah, sure. He's there are plenty of reasons someone would not want to be anywhere near him.
Yeah, I like Barnun too. That's why we're watching his video, because there's like 20 other different videos that uses the same video that's been yeeted off the TikToks. So I rather give Barnun the views. I do like his GFC hat. I kind of want one. But yeah. Anyways, as Barnun was saying.
What? Knots? I don't know what your name is, but for the sake of the video, we're just going to call you Silas.
And she's like, oh, how? I'm like, well, You'd have to come over to my house to find out.
Don't go, bitch. You already know how to put the lotion on the skin.
I mean, I kind of agree with Bar None on that one. Don't go.
You already know how to put the lotion on the skin. Ah.
I'm telling you, you love Bar None.
All right. So okay, so his whole thing about how you don't know his whole thing about the rejection. What okay, so what he's doing or what he's saying to do is to try and create interest in being negative. The next thing that he would tell you to do, I don't remember if he does it or not, is make yourself seem more interesting and a part of her seem less interesting. So turning away from her, going, well, I guess you're not worth it, is exactly why the girl is supposed to be interested. She is supposed, like, you've heard the term negging.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing. If you make the theory behind quote unquote negging, and this does work, but on only on certain women. Works on men too, believe it or not. But you hit the ego, so it usually does. It doesn't do what it normally does for women.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory behind negging is that you say something negative about a woman, be it her body, her eyes, her the way she looks, her hair, whatever it is. You give her a compliment, and then you say something that doesn't seem too hurtful. Like you don't say something nice and then call her a fat bitch. You say something nice, and then you say, you know, your hair would look so much better if it was a different color. I don't know why you're stuck with this color. So it gets her to want to talk to you. Um, it doesn't necessarily work on women who are confident. So he's doing a version of that. The whole turn away from her, and if you want to understand why I'm rejecting you instead of you rejecting me, is you're just going to have to come to my house. He's trying to seem interesting and trying to make it seem like she's got something negative. Yes, atheist. The old "you'd be so much prettier if you smiled more." It's exactly what he's doing.
Yes and no. I mean, that's the theory, but that is not what he's saying. But I do like one of the guys who also he ran into him in Planet Fitness, pulled all of this whole little I don't need to accept your rejection and use it against him, and it was gold. But that's a part of the whole him not going with criticism because he replied on the comments of that person and then deleted them when people started noticing it.
Ah, well, before we interrupt too much, let's go ahead and get through this and see what is how much is left. There's not much left. Let's just play the
No,
rest of it.
it's TikTok. It's only a minute long on a lot of these things.
Ah,
Played into her little fucking game.
Yeah, a woman's no is never won game of the year because it's not a game, you dork.
You want to know what I did with her later?
Wore her skin, I'd imagine. And there's no more seconds after that. That's how he decided to end the video.
Yeah, that is literally how he ended the video.
well, yeah, he wants people to click on the quote unquote next one. He wants people to be. It's
He's-
the whole cliffhanger.
He's wanting people to pay $500 a session for him.
You know, if he wants to be a bottom, I'll pay $500 to bottom him. Because I can guarantee you he's not. He may think he's a dom, but he's not. Like you meet these people that think that they're doms, and what they think they're doms for is because they tell people what to do and they do it, or they smack a woman's ass every once in a while.
My question when it comes to Alpha Dom, One, why is all the creepy guys have alpha in their username? Two, how the hell does he have 11.7 thousand followers on YouTube?
That's YouTube?
Or not
Oh,
YouTube,
that's simple.
TikTok.
What
TikTok.
that's really simple. He is playing to lonely men. He is doing the red pill talking points, which is very easy to just clip. And he's got people tantalized with the sex sells. If I were to start talking more about sex, I would get pigeonholed into it, kind of like with the red pill stuff. But people would watch. It's always more interesting when you hear about sex. So that's exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
true, true. Never underestimate the stupidity of people in large numbers. Yeah, true. Men are always thinking they're does when they're really, yeah, yeah. And then you have all the incels, and I'm sure there's enough for that, as well as bots.
I had an interaction with an incel that I finally had to mute on Twitter. I don't block on Twitter. For me to block you on Twitter, you have to have done something. Like something pretty obnoxious or pretty bad, or something for me to just kind of not want to deal with you anymore. Um, I muted this incel because he continually believed that Ishtar and I were in a sexless marriage. She had a body count of like 30, but he knew everything about our relationship. So I asked him. I even asked this idiot to come onto a stream, not this stream, but come onto a stream and we could discuss his ideology. Guess who decided to back out and not answer the question? So finally I said, "All right, you know my relationship so well. What is Ishtar's body count? Because I know for a fact what it is, but I want to know what you think it is."
Is this the guy we were
Get
arguing with on Twitter together?
No,
Okay.
this was someone else. I don't think you interacted with him, which is fine. Which is fine. You probably shouldn't have. The um he at best he's a 14-year-old. So at worst he's just an ignorant incel who actually believes that incel is the way to go. Well, I wasn't gonna say what your body count was, Ishtar. I was going to leave that out up in the air. But sure, go ahead and blab it to everyone. And and anyone who calls themselves alpha is not.
Who?
If you have to call yourself alpha, you really aren't. So everyone has met doms like Alpha Dom, right? They think that if they spank a woman's ass while they're having sex, that they're being dominant. They think that, pulling hair is being dominant. He doesn't understand that there are many different types of DOMs, and each DOM has a different style. Each DOM is individual, just like each person. There are things that DOMs like, that they gear themselves more to, and then there are things that they don't like that they try to avoid. I am going very deep in the sauce here to explain what I am. I I'm a
You
sadist.
missed a lot. That's what you missed. Sorry, I can't explain what all you missed. But hey,
Well, we'll keep going.
uh, do you see what playlist he has right there on TikTok? What its name is after the video we just watched?
Uh, I
Accepting
I don't.
rejection.
Oh, 4 posts.
Yeah, 4 posts on it.
So but yeah. So I'm a sadist. I like causing pain. I am happily involved with someone who is a masochist, likes being in pain. The relationship doesn't just focus around that, of course, but I know what I like. I know what I can do. Alpha Dom, from what I can see, doesn't actually know what type of Dom he is. He just tells people what to do, quote unquote, and they do it. That's not being a Dom.
No.
That's being catered to, but it's. I mean, there's so much more.
Do you want to find out what he thinks we need to think about?
I would love to know what he thinks we need to think about.
Okay. Then
Relationships aren't meant to meet all of our needs.
Hold on. No Dom is caught in that colored shirt. Look, the space station can see him in his car.
Dude,
I could be on the moon and see that shirt.
dude, we could chroma key a lot on that shirt. He's wearing the wrong color, and I am such a I can make him a meme.
Yes, that's Chernobyl lime green. All right, so go back to the beginning, because this is what is this? This is only 11 seconds. Go back to the beginning. Let's see what he has to say.
Relationships aren't meant to meet all of our needs.
I mean, that is like the first thing I've ever heard him say that makes any fucking sense.
It's if you have a relationship that meets all of your needs, that means you're not meeting the needs of your partner. Because they're focused on you instead of focusing on the relationship, then focusing on themselves. You are spoiled at that present time.
I'm scared
So
to
yeah,
see
I
how
can
this
agree.
is going downhill. I am scared to see how this is going to go downhill. Because it's going to go downhill. It is going to go downhill. There is no way. There is no other way for this.
He's only got 6 seconds left. I don't know how bad it can get.
It's Alpha Dom.
All right, let's see.
They're only meant to expose those needs.
There it is.
I don't. Well, see, I don't think that's necessarily wrong, though. So it depends on what relationship you're talking about, right? So if in our relationship, you and I are friends, we know what our relationship is like, and our needs are different. So I learn as I get to know you more. I learn what you need. As you get to know me more, you learn what I need. So that, in essence, he's not saying anything wrong. It does expose exactly what is needed in the relationship. If we're talking about a sexual relationship, like with me and Ishtar, we learned from each other what each other needed because of the relationship itself. So again, he's not wrong. That now, I'm not saying he's good. You know, a broken clock is right twice a day. Just because he says that, you know, he says something right about relationships doesn't mean he's right about everything else. So as you get to know someone in a relationship, whatever it is, you do get exposed in what you need, whether you want to or not. And that's because and there's a caveat here. And if I'm talking too much, let me know. But there's a caveat here. If you're honest, if you're not honest, then no, a relationship won't expose anything except that you're being dishonest. Like if someone starts to get to know you, they will know, if they're observant, when you're being dishonest with them. If you're not being dishonest and you're being honest in the relationship, it will expose what type of relationship you need. And it so again, broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
He happens to be right in this 11-second clip. but everyone can have an 11-second clip that they sound like they're being profound. All right, let's see what else he
Relationships
has to
Yeah,
say.
aren't meant.
that was literally all of it. But his comment section, oh my god, I could tell you he did these two videos too on the same day.
Well, it's TikTok. He's only doing short videos, of course.
But why are these two so much later than that one? Whatever.
All right, let's see. What do we got? Scroll slower, but
Okay.
if you don't know this, we are now going to. What is the, if you don't know this one? It's got the 6,686 views.
The caliber security level of a male is directly cross connected to the caliber and how hot a woman is that he can.
The fuck did
Wrong! Wrong!
what
Wrong! 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 So what he's saying is the security in a male, the security in yourself of a male is the same level of the woman's level of hotness. Now I know you've heard the meme about the crazy scale. The crazier a woman is, the hotter she is.
even chat's in the same boat as me of what the fuck?
Yeah. So the caliber of a man's security in himself is not as important as he's putting this on. So I don't know if you know this. Ishtar has heard this rant before. I won't rant, but I'm going to say, and a couple of the people in chat, like Mansquatch, Ray, and Zeo Gold, have heard this. I don't believe in leagues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you say someone is out of your league,
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I
Now,
agree 110%.
there's no such thing. Yeah, there's no such thing as leagues. And I use this. I think I talked about this with Ishtar. I don't know if I talked about it with you. Jack Black is a perfect example. Jack Black, before he became Jack Black, and we all knew who he was still a short, fat, somewhat attractive man. He still dated, he still had sex, he still got girlfriends, and his first girlfriend, if I remember correctly, was actually pretty hot. You don't need to be overconfident in yourself. You don't need to be an alpha. You need to make her laugh. That's it. You need to entertain her. Now, I can give this advice to Alpha Dom from Uncle Antwon is going to school you, bottom bitch. All right? There is something very simple that you can do to get a girl to pay attention to you, because that's what it is. The first thing you need to do is get her to pay attention. You upsell yourself. Do you know what the term upselling is? If you, for those of you who don't know, what you do is you would like call into Domino's Pizza when you used the phone 10 years ago, and they would offer you something like lava cakes. That's an upsell. You don't actually try and sell them. You just put it in their head that something is there that's extra that they may want. You can do the same exact thing in the aspect of getting a girl's attention.
I
Here's a
think
very,
more
very,
modern day
very simple.
version of what you're saying is when you go through DoorDash and you click order and it comes up, would you like all this stuff? And then
Yeah,
you hit
that's
yes.
upselling. Yeah. Do you want this too? No, I don't want the drinks. No, I don't want the corn dog or whatever it is that you're ordering. Here's a very simple way, ladies and gentlemen, very simple way to get a woman's attention and upsell yourself and make them feel comfortable at the exact same time. This is a surefire way to get a woman's attention. Now, let's say you're in a public place, right? Banshee, I'm going to use you as my hypothetical woman, okay? You are talking with your girlfriends at a pool hole. All right? You guys have drinks in your hands, you've been having a great time, but you're in a conversation with them. I think you're hot. I want to get your attention. Here's how this goes. I would go up to you. Now, there's a little bit of prep to this. You have to get yourself a card, like with your name and phone number on it, but it works and it's classy. I would go up to you, wait for a break in the conversation, and then go, I'm sorry, ma'am. I hate to do this to you. I don't want to interrupt your evening, but you looked like a very interesting person. I enjoy talking to interesting people. I'm not going to bother you for the. I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to ruin your night. But here, this is my card. If you would like to have an interesting conversation, give me a call or text me, whatever you're comfortable with, and then leave.
I absolutely love that. In chat, I still do what I did when I was 7 years old. I showed the girl I'm interested in that I can balance on a curb and talk like Pee Wee Herman. I love that. But since there's a pause, I'm
But
gonna put this
if
sound
if I
here.
well, I was
Maybe.
if if someone were to do that to you, would you want to get to know who they are?
Yeah, at least as a friend's level.
You would at least show interest,
Hmm.
right? So this does a couple of things. One, it introduces yourself and shows that you are willing to not ruin her night.
Hmm.
Right? No girl is having a good time and wants to get hit on by someone who's drunk. You are showing respect to her friend, which is also a good bonus point.
Hmm.
You are not taking up too much of her time. You have given her a compliment, and most importantly, you have made her feel safe because you have put the ball in her court. You gave her the card. She can go outside and toss it away, or if she's interested in that, she can text you. It's under her control. So that is three things at once that you are doing with something simple just by upselling yourself, not by intrusively talking to the woman, but by upselling yourself very subtly. And then you can walk away. Now, the great thing about that is you still have a stack of cards. So even if she doesn't call you or text you, you can still do this to a bunch of other women. And one of them, you could do this to 10 women, one of them is going to give you a call back. Guaranteed you. I will guarantee you 100%. So you don't need all of this stuff. You don't need to have the 2% body fat body. You don't need to have the six-figure income. You don't need to have the Bugattis and expensive cars. Because what you get with those is you get the superficial women. The ones that people then go, oh, all women are just whores who sleep around. Well, yes, because that's the type of woman you were going after. Something like this, which is subtle, will get a woman who actually has respect for herself to talk to you because you respected her. And it's very simple to forget that that is important. Respect for the person you're talking to. If you don't respect them, well, why would they call you back? If I walked up to you and your friend and I've been like, excuse me, bitch, I'm talking to the hot one, one, you just insulted her friend. You called her friend ugly. You called her a bitch. And yes, you said she was hot, but like you just disrespected her friend like three separate times. It's it's dumb, right? And you're not going to get anywhere with that. Now, say you give me a text back. All I have to do is make you interested. I can be honest with you, but if I make you laugh, if I touch on your sense of humor, I will get you more interested because it's personality. That's the thing that people like Alpha Dom, Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, even Pearl don't get. Pearl doesn't count in this because she just repeats what she's told. But people like Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate and Alpha Dom, they all look at women through the male perspective. You can't do that. Why? Because you are not a male. So men are attracted to women who look pretty because we are visual creatures. That's why porn is very visual. You can watch porn on Twitter with the sound off and still be okay with it as a man. Women, on the other hand, are mental creatures. It's an emotional thing, it's a mental thing. You have to be mentally attracted to them. And if you're not, well, then you're never going to be attracted to them. Now, yes, women do like hot men. I'm not stupid enough to think that, but they also don't go for that because that's not what they're actually attracted to. Again, why I say leagues don't exist.
I mean, I will say that I could probably speak for a lot of women when I say that there are few quote unquote hot guys women would go for. We will point to BTS, Stray Kids, and all them. But you could also see their personalities and they're more down to earth and not that stereotypical celebrity bullshit.
Well, Jason Momoa is a perfect example. Jason Momoa is a very, very hot man. Even I know that. To be fair, I'm half gay, so I can appreciate him. But he is a very hot man. He's built, the long hair, the beard, but what really sells it is his attitude and his personality.
One, yes, Antwon's message will go over the heads of neckbeards, but you do have some kind of IQ to understand half the shit that Antwon says. And two,
Oh, thank you.
yes, Antwon's giving romance advice. Take notes.
This is so. I don't personally like talking specifically just about red pill stuff. It gets tiring. I don't like just talking about stupidity. It's fun, but it gets tiring. It's why I do want to kind of start, maybe not like a 2 hour or 3 hour podcast or anything, maybe just short half hour to 45-minute things where I can actually give good advice to fight against this stuff. There is so much bad information that is going on online. Just the other day, I dealt with someone on Twitter who doesn't understand skin elasticity, who doesn't
Oh my
understand.
god, I hate people like that
So,
shit.
oh, it gets even better. He apparently, one of his favorite kinks, and this is just by what he talks about, is, forgive me for saying this, gape porn. Do you know what that is?
Mm-hmm. But you
Okay,
might want to
so
let chat or the people that will watch this later who doesn't know.
all right, gape porn. For those of you who don't know, and please forgive me, gape porn is where the woman is a quote unquote size queen. They get bigger and bigger and bigger objects to insert inside themselves so that their vaginal opening stays wide open. Now, this man believed
Do not
that
Google it.
yes, if you're if it you can Google it if your safe search is on. um, he believed that a woman's vaginal opening doesn't tighten back up. Now, this is not true. There are
The
one.
worst part of all this.
There are exercises.
The worst
Go ahead.
part of all of this, and I do mean this, the worst part of this is there are also women, there are lesbians that believe this too. And it's just not true. Not only are there
There are
exercises, but the female body is meant to actually go smaller, especially after childbirth.
Yes. So Kegels. For the women who do this gape porn stuff, do Kegels constantly because they want to be able to close those. They don't want to whistle while they walk. All right. They they don't want to be wearing a dress on a windy day and suddenly it sounds like, you know, the what is it called, the symphony section of woodwind. It's woodwinds. They don't want to sound like the they don't want to sound like the woodwind section of a symphony just standing there. um they do Kegels. It tightens things back up. If you are healthy, it tightens back up. Listen, women who aren't aroused tighten up because they're not aroused. That's how it works. He, and then Zio Gold said lesbians not knowing about women's anatomy. Oh, the irony. This idiot on Twitter who has never picked up a biology book in his life said, and I quote, he would know better than the woman how her vagina works because of his ability to see it and use his fingers and fist. And the penis is the best instrument to feel how sensitive and how a woman's insides work. That's not true.
No! You're not listening
Now,
to
there
this.
are men
no!
out there.
No!
There are
Fucking
men out
no!
there
I'm not
who
bloody.
have extremely
I'm not listening to this.
sensitive
I'm not.
penis, from the head to the base. For most men, and when I say most, I mean, let's say 90% of men, the only real sensitive area is the glans. For those of you who don't know what the glans is, that is the flare underneath the head of the penis. That's called the glans. Why is it sensitive? Because it is made up of the same material as the woman's clitoris. Now, the rest of the penis, I'm not saying it's dead, but the sensitivity is very low. So no, you can't use a penis to determine the sensitivity and the ridges and shit inside a woman's vagina. This man has never picked up a biology book in his life, ever. And this is the shit that I want to kind of counteract with a dating advice stream show kind of thing, or a relationship advice, or whatever the questions are. I have in my Discord, I put out the announcement that give me questions that I can answer on these things and talk about, whether it be sex questions, relationship questions, marriage questions. I've done it all. I've been through divorce. I've had kids. I have been married again. I have had multiple partners. I have been with virgins. I have been with women who are highly experienced. I have been through a lot. And on top of that, I have been the cheater and the cheatee. It's, I've done these things. So it's not something that is hard to understand. And I think that me being able to give my advice, which is usually pretty sound, would be a good idea. As Ishtar pointed out, I give lectures.
Hmm. You're not the only one. As you know, I'm some of my long time chat knows I like to give lectures on psychology and sociology, which is why I'm about to be making the YouTube videos that I do.
So, which will be interesting. I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah, I have the script done for Alice. I started a script for Wizard of Oz, and I'm working on the script for a history of MLMs because I want to start with the whole history before I break down each multi-level marketing company and their controversy. And then I also want to do cults because cults are fun.
Cults are interesting. Speaking of cults,
Oh
We're still
God.
talking about Alpha Dom.
How is
Doesn't
there a
he
cult?
have?
How? he-
Well,
don't-
I was going to
What?
say he supposedly has a cult
Oh,
of 6 women.
you mean the women he has in his head?
Yes. But I don't know what video that is.
Do
Now,
we want to
Alpha Dom.
finish the video that we're on, or do we want to say fuck it, done? Shut up.
Pass this one. It's yeah, he's an idiot. Um, so going back into the BDSM community, if you can find it where he says he has 6, I don't know how long ago it was.
Even if
In the
it's still
BDSM
up.
community, yeah, there are certain levels. Now there are normal beginner levels. There are intermediate levels of BDSM, and there's advanced levels. Intermediate and beginner are things like light bondage, spanking, things like that. Intermediate, you start getting into more pain receptive things, um, nipple torture, breast torture, hitting not hitting, but like hitting those buttons that normally you wouldn't
What?
do.
I think I
What?
found the videos that you might want to yell at him about. To
All
become
right.
a master at something, you need to take away more L's than the average. That is the headline of it. And then there was one
Oh,
that
you need to.
says somewhere is on how to become a Dom, but I lost it.
So let's do the 1%, the master thing, but just a second. There are different, as I stated, there are different types of DOMs, but there is something special that all BDSM knows about, and that is called being collared. What being collared means is you are owning that person, not necessarily like a slave, but they are your submissive. You are their master. You are their world at that point in time, and they are dedicated to you. This is something important. It is as close to being legitimately married as possible. You are responsible for that submissive, going so far as to say, telling them how to dress, when to eat, when to go to bed, if it's okay for them to do something, how they eat, how they go about their day. Ishtar wants to know what level she is as a sub. Ishtar, you are an intermediate. You are past the introductory stage of being curious about things, and you know what you like. You know what you want to do, and on top of that, you are eager to please your dominant. It's not so much being waiting for you to be told what to do. You know what to expect.
I would
But
like to point out
he has
psychology says that no, you will always be learning your sexuality. It will change throughout time because you will get bored of stuff and then you would learn new things.
yeah, which is good. I mean, you're supposed, and this goes to
Yeah,
what I
it's
always say about
creepy.
communication. So it's you go to communication and what you want and how you want it. What is creepy?
Just him. That's funny. It wasn't last week's episode basically all about communication?
Yes. Well, we are talking about the BDSM community, which is all about communication.
Everything that we
You
talk
have
about
to
is all
communicate.
about communication, let's be honest. Communication is
But,
key for everything.
so, conservative atheist says, I see collaring someone as marrying them mostly. You're pretty on point with that. Now, the difference is if the person you collared gets tired of you, or you're not treating them well, or you're doing something they don't agree with, they can reject you. They can take the collar off. They can say, I don't want to play anymore. And that's it. There's nothing much you can do about that. So, all right, let's see what if my avatar looks like I'm leaning over. It's because I'm looking at my other.
Your
my other thing.
avatar kind of matches him.
Don't no. What is going on the screen? Why are cats exploding on screen?
Somebody followed.
All right, let's see. This is reality. If you want, what do you string? Oh, he's trying to say struggle with. The one next to it. Scroll up a little bit. All right. When it comes to dating, what are you struggling with? Let's take a look at that one.
Oh, okay.
More exploding cats.
People are following.
Do this
Thank
video
you.
once a month, and it's me.
He scared me. Sorry.
It's all right. All right. So this is 1 minute and 3 seconds long. Let's see. Let's let him stick his foot in his face hole.
I do this video once a month, and it's me asking you where is your roadblock when it comes to dating? What is the thing that you
I know where yours is. Do you know where yours is? Alpha Dub, I know where yours is. Antwon had a stroke on camera. Yeah, his avatar kind of did a little. Anyways.
I leaned out
seem
of
to not
frame.
be able to
That's all
get
that
past?
happened.
Okay.
Seem to not be able to get past, whether it's approaching a woman, whether it's actually building attraction after the initial dates, whether it's the 3-month mark where you lose girls at the 3-month mark, or a year, wherever you're seeing a fucking.
Does anybody else look at his nails and it's like icky, gross? Because they're long and there's crap underneath of them?
I don't think, except for my very, very first girlfriend, I don't think I've ever lost a girl at the 3-month mark. Or a boy, for that matter.
Neither
There
have
must
I.
be something wrong with him if he's losing people at the 3-month mark.
Most of my girlfriends has lasted on an average between 6 months to 6 years, and I've only had 4 girlfriends. All the guys I've ever dated were over the 3-month mark. All of them.
So I think aside from the very first girl, which I think only lasted 2 months, but I was also in middle school, so that doesn't count. I think the shortest relationship I've had is 6 to 7 months. Like I am also one of those strange people that lets the person know right away, I'm not looking for short term.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a relationship. Even with the guys that I did date, I told them the same thing. And I think the shortest boyfriend I ever had was 8 months, I think. And on top of that, that relationship ended, but we stayed friends. And I was going to be moving, and I didn't realize that he took me out on a date until the end of the date.
Oof.
Antwon was oblivious for a whole night. So we had broken up. I was getting into a relationship with someone else. He told me he wasn't looking for. He told me he was looking for fun. I told him I was looking for a relationship. So we kind of had this mixture of relationship fun thing for a while. I was exclusive. He was exclusive. We didn't see anybody else. And then it kind of just ended. And I told him that I was going to be moving. like I said, after we broke up, we stayed friends, gaming group, the whole thing. Just before I moved away, he asked me if I was doing anything that night. I said, no, of course not. I'm getting ready to move. It's nothing much going on. And he goes, good, I'm going to take you out. All right, that's fine. He takes me to dinner, and I go to reach for my wallet when things are over. He takes the receipt, pays for everything. We go to the movies. He pays for everything. I'm not paying attention, by the way, this whole time. Like, we're talking, I'm not paying attention to him. But at the end of the date, he takes me home, walks me to the door, and we just, like, kind of talk. And then I go inside, and that's the end. And then an hour later, I message him and I go, you just took me on a date, didn't you? And he went, no, duh. I had to apologize, like, thoroughly. I went, I had no idea. I thought this was the last time we were going to hang out for a while, and you wanted to be nice. And it was probably one of my most embarrassing moments just in my dating life. I've had many more embarrassing moments than that, but dating wise, that was probably the most embarrassing moment of it. But even him, how bad of a person do you have to be to lose a person after 3 months?
That's a damn good question. Do we want to continue? Because you're only
Yes.
half. We're not even halfway.
Pattern. Can you not talk to a woman without having to ask her things? Where do you go to school? Where do you go to work? Where, like all the boring shit?
Oh, I saw a TikToker replying onto this. Oh, this gets bad.
Whatever it is, put
So
it in the
he said-
comments. And if you're not comfortable about putting what you struggle in the comments, I'll say two things. One, you shouldn't really worry about it, because I've talked about it multiple times that when I was 16, I was horrible with women and I got friend zoned and cheated on. It doesn't matter.
He's still horrible with women. And he does the
there's
cheating
no
this time.
such there's no such thing there's no such thing as the friend zone.
Yeah.
Now, I've gotten pushback on that. No matter how much I try to explain it, the pushback doesn't make sense. So here's a good example. I start talking to a girl. My intention with that girl is to sleep with her. I like her. I think she's hot. I think she's great to be with. I want to be in a relationship with her. The girl, on the other hand, does not want that. She turns me down flat. Now, if I continue to talk to this girl and I continue to riz, what's the new riz, right? That's the new flashy term. I continue to try and riz her up. I continue to try and date her, but I do it in the guise of being her friend, and then get pissed off when she starts dating someone else, and I start telling people, oh, she friend zoned me. No, she was very clear with her intentions. You friend zoned yourself. You decided to be part of that. You decided to continue to lie to her about being her friend. She thought you were a friend. That's the difference between men and women. When women want to be friends, they literally mean it.
Mhm.
Guys, when they want to be friends with women, which is why a lot of men have trouble being friends with women, it's because they want to sleep with them.
Mhm.
So if you honestly don't want to sleep with the woman and you want to be her friend, that's fine. But what you're doing is you are leading her on in being trusted by her, right? So you're breaking her trust by going into the friend zone. There was my ex. This was when Facebook was a big thing. Okay, she had one of her former ex-boyfriends look her up on Facebook. First thing I said to her was, "He wants to hook up with you." She said, "No, he just wants to be my friend. He's just checking up on me. He doesn't, he just wants to see how my life is going." I said, "I guarantee you, within the first month, he's going to ask you if you want to hang out. he's going to want to hook up with you. And sure as shit, within first 2 weeks, he told her how he still thought about her when they were together, how he misses her tits, how he misses how she felt in bed. And I went, yes, told you. She says, why? I thought he just wanted to be friends. I said, there is no man that looks up their ex-girlfriend who is single to see how she's doing. All right, the bear meme is stupid. It really is. I get. Listen. I get it. I do. I even told Ishtar this. I get the whole choose the bear thing. I understand. I still think the meme is stupid.
I wasn't expecting
Like,
you to go
it's
back
fine.
to looking at chat.
All right, let's see what else he has to say.
Ishtar, we have been found out. Anyways.
Matter. You can't get better unless you embrace your weaknesses. That being said, if you still do not feel comfortable,
If he would have just stopped right there and said, that being said, he would have hit the nail on the coffin. Video done. Good thing. Oh God, here he is about to put the damn foot in his mouth.
saying it in the comments, hit me up in a DM and I'll answer the question. I'll still make a video out of it, but I will hide your name and make it anonymous. Or you can do it on Telegram too, and I'll do the same thing. Help me help other people. Thank you.
So if you're uncomfortable putting it in the comments, DM me it so I can make a video out of it.
Yep.
All right. So what he said, not necessarily untrue.
It's cringe.
If you have a weakness in if you have a weakness in something, that is something you need to work on. So if your weakness is going up and talking to strangers, well, if you want to get involved with someone, you're going to have to talk to them. So that is a weakness you have to overcome. Again, not wrong. But for him to then go, if you can't talk about it, DM me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make a video out of it. I'm going to make a video out of it anyway. I'm just going to make you anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from what I can tell, we only have watched a couple of his videos. And when I make the video on him, I'm going to watch more than just one or two. I'm going to go through not all of them, but enough. He has bottom basement dwelling advice. And that's all these so-called relationship gurus have, is basic advice. If you have a weakness in something you're struggling on, work on it. No shit. If I want to lift that boulder over there to get away from or to get past something, and I can't do it right now, I need to work on it. That is a weakness I have. Once I am past that weakness, I will be able to move the boulder. Well, god damn, I need to pay him $500 fucking for private lessons for him to tell me basic shit that all it takes is one fucking chance of paying attention to normal people.
Hey, Antwon, my dear friend, my best friend, tell me how you really feel.
I could go on. Listen, Fresh and Fit has started in OnlyFans. That's what I'm calling it, because that's what it fucking is. They got pissed off at women giving private videos and shit like that for a certain amount of money per month. Fresh and Fit are doing the same thing, except this time they're giving men advice on things like dating. They're giving personal one-on-one FaceTime videos, like e-thoughts do. And they're going to give you personal time. they're going to give you advice. They're going to take you in and talk to you kindly while fleecing you for $35 a month where you don't even get to see dick. So, if I'm going to pay $500 a month for something, or if I'm going to pay $500 for a class, I'm going to have to learn something that I can't pick up from watching The Real World or some cheesy dating show like what, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Those are still around, right? I stopped watching reality TV like decades ago.
I don't know. Everybody's watching either TikTok, YouTube, or stuff. Nobody's paying attention to cable TV anymore.
So I could get basic advice from that because that's all they do is expound on that. If you want good dating advice, what you need to do is simple. Talk to someone who's married.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why he's married or she's married. It doesn't have to be the man, it can be the woman. They're married for a reason. Here's another way that you can gain insight into dating. Talk to someone who's divorced. Why? Because they know something bad happened for them to be divorced. Unless they're completely oblivious to retrospection and introspection on their relationship, they know something bad happened and they'd be able to look back on it and go, okay, don't do what I did. This is what you need to do. Do you want to know another way? Talk to someone who's in a relationship for a really long time. Don't go to these people who do not go to people who tell you go to the clubs and sleep with as many women as you can to get experience for your virgin bride.
Do
Because
you
that
wanna
makes
know
no
another person
fucking
you
sense.
can go talk to? There's a whole ass degree on this, and that's a psychology degree.
Depends on depends on the specification of the psychology degree. There's different. So if it's a relationship specialty, definitely.
Yeah.
Now there are some relationship therapists out there that you could probably do without. But what was it? It was Loveline.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Loveline
Oh
with
god.
Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla?
Took
Loveline
forever.
was an amazing show. It was an amazing radio show and an even better MTV show. Why? Because it was real. They didn't go the Jerry Springer route where it got really weird. It was real advice that was given to real people who are having these problems. Dr. Drew Pinsky is an amazing relationship psychologist. He still does things today. You can look him up on YouTube. I think he has a podcast. He still answers these questions. Stuff like that, where you hear the realness of it and you get advice from it. And then there's also just flat out experiencing things. It's not hard. And these incel idiots who listen to people like the red pill community, and we can even go to the other side of the coin, talking about the feminist community. All right, both of them have an objective, and the objective is that whatever sex they're against, they're the worst sex out there. They do horrible things. They chase people to these communities in the same side of opposite sides of the same coin. Red pill believe that women are whores and vile and evil and leeches and are just there to ruin men's lives and chase them to the red pill. Extreme feminists, third, fourth wave feminists believe that men are evil, brutish, violent rapists and murderers and are just there to hurt women and abuse them and chase them to the feminist community. It's the same, two sides of the same fucking coin. Don't, if they're part of a quote unquote community, do not listen to them because there is a narrative that they are spinning.
Echo chambers.
And I hate to say it, I run into them all the time on Twitter, even when I'm not trying to. Like, if you go through the people that I follow on the people on the left, I follow people on the right, I follow people in the middle. I follow people that have nothing to do with politics. I follow people who have nothing to do with entertainment. I follow people just because we had a conversation and I like what they had to say. But it doesn't matter who I talk to. The first thing that they say is that I am whatever opposing community it is. When I talk to these red pill people, I'm automatically a blue-haired, blue-pilled cuck. When I talk to the feminists, I'm automatically a MAGA-loving, red-pilled idiot. It does not matter. So, if you listen to someone who has an ideology that they're pushing, and I do mean pushing, stop listening to whatever advice they have to say, because their advice is steering you towards whatever their belief is,
I
no
don't
matter what it is.
I don't know what in that little tangent made me think of this, but back to what you were saying about your dating stream and you wanting to get out of pigeonholed stuff. Isn't that the reason why we made this podcast? Is we didn't like being pigeonholed in the shit we were making?
To be fair, I thought we were doing this to read, Am I the Antagonist stuff,
Well,
which we do
that
have to read,
yes,
but uh,
but it's
more along the lines of just talking about whatever.
yeah, and not being our pigeonholed little boxes that the internet put us in, and have
Yeah,
fun.
yes. My whole goal. Now, people say, "Oh, you have a YouTube. You're failing at YouTube because you don't make thousands of dollars on YouTube. You don't have thousands of subscribers. Blah blah blah." When I was putting out 2 videos a week, yes, I was trying to become a quote unquote YouTuber. I didn't. When it stopped, there were 2 things that stopped me. One, I stopped having time to do it. 2, the people that I had put my faith in and my trust in, who stabbed me in the back,
Mm.
um, ruined my enjoyment of what I was doing. So I do enjoy making videos. I do enjoy making people laugh. I do enjoy educating people. I do enjoy talking to people. So I, I haven't made a video in a while, and I do apologize. I keep changing what I want to do. I was supposed to put out a video before Valentine's Day. I haven't made a video since January. I was supposed to do one for Valentine's Day that was going to be doing the advice thing, going against I hate the Twitter algorithm. So because I would comment on someone, so this red pill advice person, I kept getting shown his stuff. Got to the point where he finally blocked me because I kept calling him out. Now, to be fair, there were some things that he said that I actually retweeted as positive. This is good advice. This is things that you should do. But 80% of what he was putting out was like, sleep with as many women as you can, but make sure that the woman that you met, the woman that you want to be your wife, is a virgin. That makes no sense. But because of that, I was going to do a advice thing, like counteracting their advice, and that got sidetracked. Then I was going to do another video on Pearl. That got sidetracked. I was going to do one on Myron. That got sidetracked. Brockus and I were going to do a collaboration on Zerka. That got sidetracked. And then I brought him in to watch the debate with Pearl, and I think I fried his brain for a bit. We still haven't finished it. That will be coming soon. So I have all of these ideas that I want to do. I just haven't. Either I've been sick, or I was gone for a while, or I was writing the script and I scrapped it. So being able to sit down and do this stuff is something that we talked about it yesterday in DMs.
Mhm.
I need to sit down and do it, not just talk about it, not just go, oh, I have this idea. No, you have to sit down and do it. So I'm thinking what I need to do, because what I keep doing is, oh, I will do it tomorrow, or I'll start on Monday, or the end of the month is coming up, so I'm going to start in July. What I need to do is just sit down and put in my phone alarms. At this time, you need to start working on a video. At this time, you need to write a few chapters of the book that you're writing. At this time, you need to edit. At this time, you need to do whatever. So I can get back into having fun with it. And that's kind of what it is you have to get into the habit of something.
Mm-hmm.
And so like doing this again and streaming again has made me want to do it more, like doing the advice stream and things like that. So the more I do that, the more I will want to do it, the more I will do it. If that made sense.
Yeah, it's the same shit that I've dealt with. I haven't made a video in 3 years, and that was turning somebody into a meme. And before then, I haven't made a video for specifically YouTube since 2015, 2016, 2018. Yes, I had to go through and figure out when it was. It was 2018, and it was shortly after I lost Deputy Heath Gum and Deputy Zach Parrish, because I couldn't do YouTube anymore because I got the call that I lost my friend while I was live. And it made doing streaming hard. And then you added all the criticisms from backstabbers coming in, and it just became too much. I love it. I
Yeah.
actually do love making. I do love the research. I do love making videos and having fun with it. Always have, always will. It's part of the reason why I keep coming back to streaming.
Yeah. It's once you start doing it, and like Ray has been at Man Squatch, Ray has been a fan for a while, but he's also become a friend. And he only showed up because he used to watch Ishtar and Ren on someone else's stream when they did the news, and he followed them to my channel. And I've gotten this is why I like streaming. You get to know a bunch of really cool people that you wouldn't know. Ray and I are the exact same age. We grew up around the exact same area. There's a joke between Ray and myself that we are long lost twins because of the similarities that we have had in our lives. I would have never met Ray if I didn't stream. I would have never met you if I didn't stream. I would have never met Ishtar if I didn't stream. I would have never met a lot of people if I didn't do these videos. And it's fun. I love talking to people. Well, as you can tell, I love talking at people. I love talking about different topics. One of my personal jokes is I am a font of useless knowledge. And it's not necessarily that it's useless, it's that I have a bunch of knowledge that I've gathered from my life. I know things that a lot of people don't know. I know about things that a lot of people don't know. And being able to talk to people about that is really fun. But there's a downside. And that downside is you get to meet a lot of shit people.
Like I was telling my husband, for every like 100, you have an alpha dom. For every, I can't think of like the ideal girl, you have a pearl. For every good person, for every amazing friend you find a person. I refuse to say his name, because if you say his name too many times, he shows.
Yeah. It's
Life is a balance.
my experience is more for every one good person, I find like 5 horrible ones. And the
agree.
problem that Ishtar's very much right.
Yes,
It's WWE rules. If you say their name, they appear.
Yes.
It's And it's not that I just meet bad people. It's so you know who Penoid is, right?
You said one of their names.
I did. I said his name, and if he shows up in the chat, I will run him down like I have the last 30 times that we've come in contact with each other. Penoid is someone who I came in contact with because of someone else. Now, the person that I came in contact with them, I didn't have a problem with. Penoid, I had a problem with. And then I met because of a couple, because of Penoid, other people like that ended up becoming not in my circle, but in my circle of knowledge. And some of them tried to talk to me. Some of them tried to become friends with me. I'm someone, and I'm saying this now, and I'm not bragging about this. Ishtar can attest to it. I am an observant person.
Yes, he very much is. I can vouch for this 110%.
I am one, a very good judge of character. Two, I am very observant. And three, I know a lot about what is known as the human condition. What, for those of you who don't know what the human quote unquote human condition is, it is the generality of how humans interact with each other and how they interact as a group.
Mhm.
Understanding the human condition, you get to understand people. Being able to understand people, you can narrow that down to understand a person. Now, I'm not saying, Mask Druid, I have only seen you twice because of these streams. I don't know you. If we were to start talking, you and I would be able to pick up on certain things that you act, how you type, certain word usage that you use, certain examples that you give. Because of what
Antwon, I would like to point out that Mask's Druid's name used to not be Mask Druid. He used to be Death Haruken.
Oh, okay. So I know them from a while ago. So, but wasn't close. Knew the name, saw the name in chat, stuff like that. So not close. So Druid, same thing still applies. We don't really know each other. The way that you talk, the way that you use words, the way that you give examples. Yes, long ass time ago. I would be able to pick up on certain things, and I would be able to know if you're lying to me or not. Now, here's the problem. I give everyone respect right away. It's how I was raised. My dad raised me that way. My mom raised me that way. And I'll be respectful to you. No problem. The moment that I know you're lying to me, that respect starts to go away. If you lie to me more respect disappears. By the time it gets to the point where I don't respect you at all, you know it. Not only do you know it, but you don't like me because I stopped caring about your feelings. I stopped being nice to you. And that happens so much because people believe online that you can put on a certain persona. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am honestly not a cyber demon. I am not born of the internet. This is not how I really look. We all know this. For those of you who know me more,
I never knew. I thought you were. My world, it's crushed.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was not me reaching through the computer to, take things from you. But for those of you who really know me, know how I really sound. They know that I'm putting on a character. Now, Antwon is a version of me cranked all the way to 11. Again, Ishtar can attest that 11 normally is just a skosh higher than what I really am. Not like amplified, but just a little bit more than my own personality. I'm a little bit more snarky. I'm a little bit more condescending. I'm a little bit more sexual. I'm a little bit more than whatever it is that you think Antwon is. I know and I know this from experience because when I first started doing YouTube, I had a crisis. So the person that I am was doing videos and getting nowhere, just as myself. So I put on an accent and portrayed a character. And as soon as I did that, people started paying attention. My crisis came about where I started to believe that I needed to hide who I was. Antwon was supposed to be real, right? I played Antwon behind the scenes. I played Antwon in DMs. I played Antwon on the screen. I played Antwon whenever anyone talked to me. So I had a crisis. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, I had a crisis of conscience, I guess you could say, where I started to believe that I had to be Antwon and that Matt was not good enough, which can really fuck up your mental state. Also, take into consideration at this point in time, I was working graveyard shifts and getting about 3 hours of sleep a day. So my mental state was not the best. And in this crisis, I put my faith in a couple of people that just did not deserve it. And I paid the price for that. So it's been a lot to learn how to do this and want to continue to do it. And I've had people come to me that I hated way back when who apologized and were now good. You know one of them, Trippy. Trippy and I couldn't stand each other.
Yeah.
Trippy Poop and I went back and forth. I did a video on him where I did something that I never did.
Eh,
I basically said, I'm sharing all of our DMs because you're being a jackass and you're accusing me of doing something that I'm not doing. I'm going to prove it. We had
Hell,
a
look at me in your first interaction. It was both me and you yelling at each other.
Thankfully, it wasn't in person yelling. We were yelling at each other on Twitter, but
Yeah.
still, it's what Twitter is for. Let's be fair.
Yes.
Um, but I've had people come back and be like, "Hey, the beef that we had before, I had some bad information. I apologize. Blah blah blah." And now we talk. I wouldn't say that Trippy and I are besties, but I can go to him in DMs and be like, "Hey, what's going on? Everything okay? Blah blah blah." Um, Things like that. You and I rekindled a friendship. Like, if I remember correctly, we were starting to talk more on in DMs and things like that. And then I'm not going to say what happened, but something bad happened, and you misconstrued something I was doing or saying, and we just went at each other.
Mhm.
And then uh, 2 years ago, we reconnected on Twitter. You were under Deaf Banshee instead of your former name, and we started talking, and apologies were given, and now we're here we are.
Yeah. Not,
So
to add on to it, during the whole "he shall be not named" saga of things, I was also dealing with a lot of shit in my personal life. So I was getting attacked with the personal shit, attacked by COVID, attacked with stuff online. So I was not in a good mindset, and poor Antwon just got the butt end of it all. And I apologize
yeah,
for it. That's really what it boiled down
yep.
to, is I kind of just exploded on Antwon. He took everything that I was going on in my life, and I blocked him right after the message. And then
Mm,
2 years later, I felt really bad after everything happened, and I messaged him with an obnoxiously long message apologizing and explaining everything, including my side of what happened during the whole "he shall not be named" saga.
yeah. And if I remember correctly, I said, "Well, but that was a while ago. I don't remember any of that, but cool.
Yeah,
Apology accepted."
yeah.
So
And then we've been
But
nonstop talking
doing this
since.
stuff is fun, and yeah, and I know what I'm not going to say what you want to do with your future, and I hope it works out. I do. I hope all that gets fixed.
Thank you.
But I know what you want to do in the future, and I think that's really cool. What you want to do in the future, I hope you do. Um, but if it doesn't, you have another plan, which is really rare for people to have. Like they start doing something, they can't get that, they don't know how to pivot to something else. Which again, we've been talking about drainage. I guess you could say like having the mental drainage of something
Hello,
not.
Marco.
I stopped being fun. Oh,
Ah, there you
hello,
are.
Polo.
You disappeared and roboted away from us for a bit.
Oh, sorry about that. But we were talking about mental fatigue and
Mhm.
how it can affect you. Um, and that's very true. Like I was streaming I was doing two shows that were 2 hours each, uh, Tuesday and Thursday, and then I was doing another one on Sun. There was a point where I was doing 3 shows a week plus videos.
Mhm.
I had nothing going on in my life except YouTube, and nothing was happening from it, and it's draining. And I've had a couple people just kind of go, keep doing it, you're doing fine, people are enjoying you. You may have the same 15 people show up in your chat, but they're there because they enjoy you. You'll get more viewers, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And you want your you want what you create to succeed.
Yeah.
Everybody who makes something wants what they create to succeed. So you want to see the views, you want to see the new subscribers, you want to see the new viewers in chat. You like seeing those numbers go up.
Mhm.
Um, my friend Brockis, he and I had a falling out because of what happened a while ago. We rekindled to the point where he came and stayed with Ishtar and I for about a year. Like we were roommates with him. Um, Everything worked out. He went back to California to do his own thing, but we became friends again. He's one of the people when I first started doing YouTube that was like, I was like, I want to quit. I'm tired of not getting any views, not getting any recognition. I'm tired of people not paying attention. He was like, listen, the people are there. You just have to see. They just have to see you. It's you've got to keep putting things out. You've got to keep doing it. Ishtar has been another one that's been like, look, you're good at this. You're entertaining. You're funny. Continue to do this. People are there. Um, he does tell horror stories about us, Brockis. um, so it's still draining when nothing comes about it. So being able to pivot into something else, like I pivoted from doing YouTube and what I wanted to do to writing a book. And part of that is because of Ray. Um, Ray is an amazing writer. He's hilarious. We've read some of his stories on stream. They're amazing. They're funny. They're entertaining. They're well written. Um, he kind of inspired me to do my own thing, and I have been creating this world with Antwon for a very long time. Going back to when I was doing the Proper Villains podcast, Magog came on. You remember, Magog, right?
Yep. I used to talk with him back in the day.
So did I. I had an open invitation to his stream and show up whenever I wanted, if I. But that long since passed.
Yeah.
He came onto our show and liked what we were doing with our characters, and gave us an idea on making this a world. Oh yeah, Ishtar
Ishtar,
chewed him
I
out.
would love to have seen that.
So I can tell you exactly. So, do you remember the cunt stream?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember it.
Okay, so Ishtar, Ishtar, Kadant, and myself did a show on the Cunt Stream called Qualms of the Curious. And it was the basis of it was we were going to take something not spooky, but like Area 51 or the Lost City of Atlantis, something mystical or something mythical. And we were going to talk about the history of it, talk about, and each person was going to have a viewpoint. So Kadant was supposed to be the non-believer, which didn't work out. I was supposed to be the believer, and Ishtar was supposed to be the narrator. So Kadant ended up being the believer. I switched, and this was during the first episode. I switched into being the skeptic, and then we were. What was the show we were talking? We were talking about, I think, Area 51, and we were talking about the history of it and things like that. Yeah, and then
I
Lo-Fi
forgot
showed
about
up for the science angle.
Lo-Fi. I miss her. Them.
We could. I could tell you stories. We won't bring that up. But anyway, Magog came on when he was starting to promote his idea on creating his own TV show, which he's still trying to do, but he's also, he's got to have a job and things like that, so it's slow going. But he came on to promote that, and Schmeckel let him on, and he derailed the entire show. And I'm sitting in, because I was living with Ishtar at the time, and I'm sitting in the kitchen on my laptop streaming with these, and she had muted herself, and she comes into the kitchen while I'm muted and goes, "I am sick of this shit. He's derailed the entire show. We're not even talking about what we're supposed to be doing." And I said, "So say something." She's like, "But I don't want to. It's not my stream." I was like, "It's our show. Say something." So she goes back into her office, gets on her computer, and Magog starts doing it again. And she goes off on him and is like, "Excuse me. We were talking about this. We don't need to talk about that. That's for a different show. You can talk about that whenever you want." Magog, I've talked to him personally in DMs. I've talked to him behind the scenes in like streams. He's such a nice guy, but you could feel him kind of wilt underneath the power of Ishtar. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Well, let's go on with what you guys were talking about." And Ishtar goes, "Thank you." And then we continue on with the show.
Reasons I love Ishtar. All women have a mom voice. Not all. There's some that really don't.
So it's.
But we do have a Am I the Asshole?
We do. We should probably do what we were doing this podcast for.
I mean, we only have, 15 minutes left of the podcast?
All right. Well, we went on two different tangents, so that's
We
fine.
went on many tangents.
So you have a couple pulled up. I think I have a couple pulled up. So I went through the mom one, the mother-in-law one. I couldn't find any that looked too good. So I have two from Am I the Asshole?
Only two? I haven't looked at the mother-in-law one. I just got the one I got just the one pulled up from Am I the Asshole? Which is the one I was telling you about. So
yeah, which is fine, yeah.
It's very short, so I'll do mine first and then we go through with yours.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for warning my sister's boyfriend she wanted our parents to confront him at dinner?
Right off the bat, yes. No, I don't know. Depends on what they want to confront him about.
Chat, I have read this. I have not told Antwon anything about this. I am warning you, there is going to be a lecture at the end of this.
Uh-oh. I've already given so many. Is the lecture coming from you or is it coming from me?
You.
Oh, crap. All right, hit me.
Anyways, my 23 female, I'm guessing she's saying that she's 23 female, family went out for dinner a few days ago to celebrate my sister, 26 female, Jenny's birthday. I am hoping she's not writing actual names in this. But anyways, when we got to the restaurant, Jen was already alone. She had told her boyfriend Blake the time got pushed back 30 minutes because she wanted to talk to us alone. Jen was really mad at Blake for not getting her anything for her birthday. They only took her out for dinner to a place they've already been to often. Our parents understood being upset. She asked if they would try talking to him because she couldn't get Blake to understand how hurtful this was to her. If she had given him her usual quote unquote present for his birthday or every other holiday, then Jenny said that wasn't important. For context, my sister's idea of a gift for her partner is lingerie and sex, and only ever does that, nothing more. I don't know about her past relationships, but I do know this one for 2 years. That's all she's ever done for Blake. And he's given her many different ideas and suggestions to get him for things. Like for this past Christmas, she came in empty handed and he came with a bunch of stuff for her. And she always said, I'll give him his present later, followed by a winky face. I told Jen it sounded like she got what was good and she was given what she gives others. Our parents said I should be considerate as someone would be dismissive and vindictive towards my sister. My parents said they think about talking about to Blake about this behavior when he arrives. So I text Blake that Jen is setting up a lecture. He was told he warned up not showing. Last night Jen called me angrily. She said by text message to him and realized my text was the reason he didn't come and accused me of not having her back. And she's told her parents I bursted out of the situation, but I figured she was trying to involve us anyway, so I probably could have just stayed quiet, but nothing set right. Am I the asshole?
No. Uh, she did the right thing by telling the boyfriend, listen. All right. One, lingerie and sex is a good gift. If you don't have anything else you're giving your boyfriend. All right? Like, if you can't afford anything, if you are hard up on bills or whatever it is, sure. What, once in a while, right? If it's the gift you give every time, you're not bringing anything to the relationship. If he's putting effort into getting a present for you, Christmas presents for you and your family, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to dress sexy for him later, it's going to get tired. And this is coming from someone who loves seeing his wife in lingerie. But I also know that that this woman should be thinking of someone other than herself. And shame on her parents for thinking that it's okay to talk to him. It's not their business. Like, if she can't tell her boyfriend to get, to get her to not take her to the same place, that's on her. Because I can guarantee the boyfriend looked at, oh, this is a place we like to go a lot. It would be considered our favorite place. So I'm going to take her to her favorite place on her birthday. So the sister, not the asshole.
I 110% agree, and like I said, chat, you were gonna get a lecture. Yeah. No, she's not the asshole, and I understand where he's coming from, because if she's only gonna half-ass the what to do and stuff, and he's been telling her, hey, I want more than just this, then give her a taste of her own damn medicine.
Yes. Atheist said it right. It's called paying attention to what your significant other likes.
Right?
It's not, it's not the parents' place to talk to the boyfriend. It's not the sister's place to talk to the boyfriend. Now, the sister did the right thing in warning the boyfriend, and I'm pretty sure that relationship ended quickly afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if a conversation didn't take place and he just left, I would not blame him. So, yeah, that. I don't like Jen. I think she's a bitch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she seems to be the type of Miss Princess where it's, you give me stuff, but I don't have to give you stuff. My
yes,
presence is enough for you. Like I said, Miss Princess.
yeah. All right. This one is: am I the asshole for, quote, costing my partner's friend's boyfriend a chance at a job, unquote?
That's a lot to
So
unpack in a title.
so it's partner, their partner's friend, their boyfriend. They cost them a chance at the job. All right. Let's go. My girlfriend's good friend is seeing a guy who is unemployed. He's been unemployed for around a year now, but will barely apply for jobs. We live in the UK and he will only apply for jobs in the field his degree is in. This field is the field I work in. My girlfriend asked if I could ask around for any jobs going, but I told her I didn't really want to because I don't want to recommend someone when it could reflect badly on me. He got fired from his last job for being lazy, so I know he doesn't have a good work ethic. My girlfriend asked me to at least tell her when there's a job going. I told her I'd mention it to her, but that I'm not going to ask the recruitment team to consider him or anything because I don't want my name associated with him, which she agreed to. A job became available, and when he applied, he put my name down when he asked about how he heard about it and said I'd recommended him. The recruitment team asked me about it, and I denied it. I told them he's my girlfriend's friend's boyfriend, but that I don't know him personally. The recruiter thanked me, then declined to process the application further. When giving feedback on the application, the recruiter just stated that he had lied on the application. My girlfriend asked if I knew anything about it, and I told her. She said I should have backed him up and said that I did refer and recommend him, but I told her she knew I wasn't going to do that, and it's his own fault for putting my name on his application. Am I the asshole for costing my partner's friend's best friend or boyfriend a chance at a job?
No. No.
I don't,
No.
yeah, I don't think he's the asshole here, but
He
this,
set a boundary, and the other person's crossed said boundary.
I understand where he's coming from. like I don't want to recommend someone when it could reflect badly on me. So most jobs have like a recommendation kind of thing, like they have an enrollment kind of, if you recommend someone and they get the job, you get kind of like a bonus, right?
Mhm.
Most jobs, I'm not saying all jobs. uh, the job I currently work in has that. You recommend someone and they get taken on full time, I think you get something like $500. That's a lot. But here's the thing: if you recommend someone and they don't work out, that does look poorly on you. So I understand 100% why this guy does not want the boyfriend having his name anywhere near his application. Here's where he went wrong. He could. It's a little white lie. It really is, and I don't necessarily recommend doing it. As long like if it's going to cause a huge problem, maybe kind of flub the truth, not flat out lie. But like when the girlfriend asked him about it, he could have said, "Oh no, I knew nothing about that," because technically he didn't. He didn't know that the boyfriend put his name on the application.
Mhm.
So it didn't seem like it's a big like it caused a huge blowout argument, since he kind of set the boundary of I'm not backing him whatsoever,
Mhm.
and he did it anyway. But me personally, I would have played in that gray area of I didn't know, and I didn't know while the recruiter was talking to me about it, so I was honest with the recruiter, and the recruiter told me, "Oh yeah, he put your name on there." That's a little bit of a flub, but it may stop some hurt feelings. Like you can approach that situation a little bit easier than, yeah, I told them keep it. I knew nothing about it. That's kind of harsh. It's like, oh, the recruiter came up. I didn't. He asked me a couple questions and I answered without thinking about it, and it ended up being that he lied. Right. So there's
Mhm.
but the boyfriend, the person, the guy who's the post is not the asshole at all. All right. So I have two more
Okay.
because I picked one up as I was scanning real quick. So I'm going to make. Am I the antagonist? Am I the asshole for being a little uncomfortable on contributing a lot of money for my brother's baby shower? Or am I the asshole wedding edition?
Oh, weddings are always fun.
All right, wedding edition first then. So, my best friend got engaged 6 days ago. She contacted me 3 days ago and said their wedding is going to be July 26th. I informed her, wow, they're getting married quick.
Mm.
Yeah, they posted this today. So, 6 days ago was the 15th. They're getting married on July 26th. That's a month and a half.
That's that's a lot of planning in a short amount of time.
Are they going to Vegas?
I mean,
No,
that's the
okay.
only
So,
option is either Vegas or the one out east because, well, a lot of things like mass wedding doesn't exist anymore. Thank you,
all
COVID.
right. So, I informed her that we have a concert to attend on the 24th, and I already booked off 2 days for the stay in Toronto. So I wasn't sure if they'd grant me a third day off. I am still on probation, and they were very generous providing me the 2 days anyway. Well, ultimately, they denied my time off request, and I'll be working until 7 p.m. on the day of her wedding. She is now demanding that I cancel the concert and attend her wedding because it's bullshit that I would prioritize a concert over her. This concert was booked a year ago as a birthday gift to my spouse. He has made numerous posts on my Facebook about how excited he is. She has liked and commented on them, so she knew it was coming up. She literally messaged me giving me three options. One, I sell the tickets for a deficit. Two, One, I sell the tickets for a deficit. Fuck you, bitch. That's my response to that.
Mm.
Two, I give away my ticket and my spouse still gets to go. no, this is a gift. We're both going. Or 3, I tell her which day I can get off work because between the 22nd and 26th, when I literally can't get any more days off that week. She claims I'm a monster for wanting her to change her entire wedding for me. It's a simple backyard wedding with a marriage efficient and nothing was set in stone when she asked, so I assumed swaying a week or two wouldn't be the end of the world. But apparently, that made me the bad guy. Note, my entire family is her wedding party. Maid of honor, flower girl, and ring bearers. So considering she's literally doing a shotgun wedding, was it so wrong of me to assume that we would have been included in the planning? Like availability? I don't know. Maybe I'm the asshole, but she's being awful. Not the asshole.
No, not the asshole. Uh, one, you're
It's a
planning a fucking wedding in less than a month, and that's a lot to do in that time frame. Two, I'm sorry, but I would even choose my Stray Kids concert over doing a event like this, and that's in a month with my husband. Concerts aren't that easy to get into. It doesn't matter what kind of concert it is nowadays. And they're a lot of fucking money. May it be a rock band, K-pop band, or just even going to your own kids' freaking concert. They're expensive.
yeah. I mean, Taylor Swift is a perfect example. Taylor Swift is expensive as shit. If this concert was a Taylor Swift concert, I'm sorry, your wedding has to wait.
Yeah.
I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I know for a fact Swifties will kill people over tickets.
Mhm.
So you're getting married in a month and a half, and you want me to drop everything for you? Listen, if you want to get married in a month and a half, you're going to have to
Okay. What
massage
vineyard?
some of these things.
What vineyard is going to be able to even book out in a month? You're looking at waiting lists anywhere between 6 months to a year.
Well, they're doing it in the backyard of someone's house, so
So then you're what
they don't
about
have to.
who's going to do the reception? Who's going to do reception? Who's going to do the officiation? All that stuff. You still have to book all that. The only other
I'm
thing
sure the reception is going to be at the Waffle House. Just that you know, don't the reception is going to be at the Waffle House. The honeymoon is going to be at Denny's, and the divorce is going to be in Vegas. So it's
God, I love you.
so Ishtar Ishtar says she's the girlfriend is uncertain about the relationship and wants to feel in control via proxy control of the relationship. Not the relationship, the wedding, control the wedding. But
I have a feeling
yeah.
she's going to be a bridezilla.
Well, she's planning a wedding in a month and a half. I doubt. Look,
Doesn't have
she can
time
go
to.
to the. She's going to go to Safeway and buy out all the flowers. She's going to go to Walmart to get her dress. Like, look, unless you go to unless you go to a dress shop, and even then, getting it tailor fit to you takes time. Like, her idea of a wedding dress is a white skirt and a tuxedo shirt. I mean, this wedding is not going to be a good thing. Now, Ishtar and I's wedding, which was beautiful, it was in a backyard. The reception was held at my future sister-in-law's house. It was all wonderful, but we planned it for a year and a half. Like, Ishtar and I got into an argument over certain things because I wasn't being as committed enough with certain suggestions. Like, she would ask me a question, I was like, whatever. That's not the right answer. We got into a pretty decent argument on the way home from visiting the in-laws because of that. I think it all started over what colors we were going to have for our wedding. So it's planning a wedding in a month and a half is I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm just going to say the hors d'oeuvres are going to come from Jack in the Box.
Nothing is impossible. Everything is improbable. But definitely gonna be. I mean, a courthouse wedding, and then just have your friends and stuff doing a like quote unquote show wedding is probably the route they're gonna have to go.
That would actually be better. You two with a couple of witnesses go to the courthouse. You get married in front of the justice of the peace, and then you plan the show wedding, and you take your time. That's perfectly fine because the justice of the peace, I think it's like $50 in all 50 states.
Mhm.
It does. All you have to do is set time aside and pay for the wedding, pay for the marriage certificate and things like that. You just need two witnesses. So doing that and then being like, look, we want to get married right away. Um, we're going to plan for the wedding that everybody can attend to a year from now, or even 6 months from now. That would be fine too. Not a month and a half. All right,
Right,
last
Ishtar?
one.
Oh my god, right. When she asks for your input, meh is not the answer.
I,
That
I
is a death
understand.
call.
I understand that now, but it was also late while we were driving back, and it was to me at that present time was a superfluous question that didn't really need an answer. My response of meh, I don't really care, was taken the wrong way, but we did get it situated after an argument and possibly some tears. Ishtar's
Possibly.
mean. Yeah, Ishtar is very mean. I had to pull over and kind of sob for a little bit. She just kind of ran me down. It was very, very rude of her. So,
Have I mentioned that your wife is my favorite part of you?
a couple of times, yes. All right. So, this last one, and then I think we should call it a night. Am I the antagonist? Am I the asshole for being a little uncomfortable on contributing a lot of money for my brother's baby shower?
Bless you,
It starts
Jared.
off with an edit.
Oh my god.
It starts off with an edit. Edit. Wow, first off, thank you all so much for your responses. I honestly felt like such a bad sister with all of this, but feeling so much better now. I took so many of your tips and suggestions, and I had a conversation with my brother about setting him my firm budget and what he can expect from me and explained my situation. He actually is very understanding and apologized for any anxiety he caused me. Hopefully, he continues to be understanding. Thank you all so much. Well, you're supposed to put the edit at the bottom because now we know what the situation ended up being. Healthy stomach, you're a bitch. All right. We're going to pretend that we didn't read any of that, and we're going to go in this blind.
Sounds like Antwon wants to fight a OP here.
So, quick facts. I, 30 female, have a brother, 33 male. Congratulations. He and his husband, 34 male, are in the process of adopting two babies, from two different women. Are we sure one of them is fully gay? Two different women, two different babies. Maybe he's not 100% gay. Anyway, my brother makes about $95,000 a year, and his husband makes about $80,000 a year. God damn. Both are teachers in high paying districts. College has to be college. Can't be high school.
No, it could be. There's some high schools that it's full. The district is nothing but full of yuppie yuppieville.
I'm a single person and make about 60,000 a year. Also a teacher. 60,000 is not bad. And I just bought a house last year. I do not get paid over the summer. And I am in 2 weddings coming up, which also takes a lot of money. Is one of those weddings taking place in a month? Do you know the person from the last story? Can you talk some sense into her? My brother and his husband are understandably very excited and want to have a baby shower to help get stuff for possibly 2 babies. This is a good plan. It's a good way to get free things. It's very ingenious. And one really good way to do things is to have a raffle. This is not in the post. This is something that I have experience with. You do a raffle of a big item, uh, like, let's say, a PlayStation 5. And for every diaper, 10 pack of diapers, 10 pack or more, for every 10 diapers in a pack, you get 1 raffle ticket. You invite a bunch of people, tell them about the raffle, and they bring you diapers. And believe me, those diapers are going to be needed.
That's
So
an understatement. I could vouch as well. Diapers is a
we,
must.
my ex and I did this when we had my daughter. We got what we thought was a year's worth of diapers. It wasn't. It was about 4 months worth of diapers, but that was still 4 months that we didn't have to buy any, which is really good. All right, continuing on. One baby is due September 26th and the other is due October 15th. Here's where things get a bit dicey. They, mostly my brother, want to have a big fancy baby shower with possibly 100 guests or more. That's not a baby shower, that's a wedding. How do they know 100 people to invite to a baby shower?
Good question.
He said it will be like a mini wedding, and even got into a fight with his mother-in-law about the cost of the venue and expecting them to shell out the money for it. She called him spoiled and he got very offended. Yes, you're spoiled. Of
I second
course,
that.
I want to help out as much as I can. Yeah, I want to help out as much as I can. I offered to make the invitations to help organize stuff. But as I talked with my brother, I realized just how much he is expecting me and his sister in law, 31 female, to contribute since all of the parents and themselves are paying over $6,500 for the venue, food, and drink. God damn. What from what I understand, he mentioned we would cover decorations, centerpieces, favors, setting up, doing the seating chart, which is reasonable. But then wait, hold on. Taking care of the decorations, covering the decorations, centerpieces, favors, setting up, and doing seating arrangements is reasonable for 100 people?
Wow.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey. You are a people pleaser, and that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Therapy.
then he st-
Therapy.
but then he started to mention mini bottles of champagne for each person as a favor, as a party favor, a photo booth, and other extras like that on top of a gift. I was told I could get the other crib or bassinet since sister-in-law is getting one about $350. That's actually a reasonable price. When I said all of that is a lot of money, he said, just be glad I'm not asking you to contribute to paying for the venue like I was going to originally do it. And I'd be like, I don't care if you're gay. I'm throwing you off a bridge. Of
Hmm.
course,
Yeet.
Of course, I want to spoil my nieces and to help out as much as I can. But maybe it's that they just expect me to pull out all this money without asking. I've also always been the money conscious one and even helped bail my brother out of credit card debt a few years ago. Just $3,000, and he did eventually pay me back. It's only $3,000. So am I the asshole Also, how much do siblings generally contribute towards a baby shower? Generally, a baby shower is at most 20 people. Genuinely or generally, baby showers do not cost as much as weddings. And if you're a nice sibling, you contribute decorations and maybe a gift. Not $6,500 worth of a gift,
Yeah.
or however much that they were going to have her pay. So, no, you're darling, you're not the asshole. Your brother is.
Mm.
But knowing the edit that came first and everything worked out, you're an asshole for that.
I will agree with your wife on this aspect. Learn to read ahead.
I just don't. Look, so, okay, a baby shower, you can register baby gifts, like a baby registry. I used to work for Robinson's Me. We had one. People would come in expecting, they'd take a little gun, scan a bunch of things, and be like, "Oh, this is what we want." Same thing for a wedding, right? You have a wedding, a bridal party, and things like that, and they get you gifts. Baby showers are meant to be thrown in order to welcome the fact that you're going to have a baby, and your friends can either give you money or buy you things in preparation for the baby. They are
Diapers
not
are always.
meant. Yeah, diapers are always. Yeah, buy diapers. If you never know what to get someone at a baby shower, buy them diapers. Not just diapers. Buy them the good diapers and buy the biggest pack you can.
And don't just
They
buy the
will
newborn.
love you.
Buy the preemie diapers too, because the baby, when it's first born, is not going to fit those newborn diapers. Buy the preemie
Yeah.
ones too.
So if you're going to if you're one, I want to point this out. Baby showers usually are just the women. Very rarely are men there. Like we had me and my ex had a co-sex baby shower because most of our friends were male. But most of the time, baby showers are just the women. The games are always more geared towards feminine games. Um, just they're there for you to be showered gifts upon for the child upcoming, whether it be money, a crib, or whatever. You kind of do it to try and get what you can't afford. Kind of like wedding registries.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're not supposed to be mini weddings.
Mm-mm.
How the fuck do you know 100 additional people besides your family as close enough friends to invite them to a baby shower?
Sounds like a
What the
lot of
fuck?
fake friends. A lot of fake friends.
Like, I think they're just inviting the entire school, like all the teachers,
Mm.
50 teachers at the school, and you can bring your spouse. They're not, you're right, they're not close friends, but they're inviting them just in case they can get something from them. Because so, even if you don't know them very well and they invite you to a baby shower and you go, you as a person, because you're a decent person, feel obligated to get them something. They were nice enough to invite you to this celebration of their child. You want to get them something. It's propriety. That's all they're doing. They're min-maxing their baby shower. I respect the hustle, but goddamn, if you want to throw a party, throw a party. Don't call it a baby shower because you want to spend $6,500 on the mini wedding that you couldn't have.
I, it just seems like a lot of spoiledness to me. But I'm curious on how the hell they even know that many people and keep track of that many people?
Well, what so one of them made 90,000 a year, the other one made 85,000 a year, so that's 175,000 a year. They are they're not the top, they're not the top 1%. I think they're considered the top 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're the top 5% earners. As you've pointed out in the chat, rich people.
Yeah.
Like you're making almost six figures a year. You're you're adopting, like it's yeah, they just like spending money. That's all it is. They're showing off, and
Status.
I'm not gonna lie. If I had the ability to show off, yeah, if I had the ability to show off, I would. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So, all right, that is all I have. Unless you pulled up another one.
I did, but I saved it for next week. I
All
mean,
right,
it
that
is
works.
11 something my time, which it's well up past the 2-hour mark on our stream, and you already made it very clear you don't want to do 3-hour, 4-hour streams.
It is a drain on the voice, but I had fun, even though we started talking about someone horrible and then kind of got off on many tangents.
Lots of
So
lectures. Did chat take notes? I think Ishtar wants to do a test on you guys.
I was going to say, listen, if you didn't take notes, there's a test next Friday. It will account for 70% of your grade.
I swear to God, chat, I'm probably gonna make like a next scene just being lecture with Antwon. And so when he starts going on these tangents, with just got a stream of him.
just make bingo cards and put them in the Discord.
You know what?
Suddenly we'll
That's
just get
a
people
fucking
shouting
good
bingo.
idea. I didn't almost fall out of the chair. You almost fell out of the chair.
All right.
All right.
So let's wrap this up.
That's right, chat. You know the routine. We have reached the end of the whole thing. Same. We'll see you next week. Same channel. Same boring. Well, I guess it's not boring. Same unknown time. I mean, we have had 2 of them canceled, so it's been like every other week. So hopefully we don't do that next week. History says, though. But if it does happen, keep an eye on Twitter. Keep an eye on the Discord. But yeah, we're not doing drinking games. No, we could do bingo, but we're not adding drinking to it. Nobody needs to die on our stream.
I was going to say, if you get a bingo, you yell bingo out in it, you show it in the Discord, and then both of us have to take a shot of something.
Water. Hydration.
Shot of water.
Watch chat drown us. But yeah, I believe both me and Antwon has some things in the works. There's no date on when anything's going to happen, but they're in the works. Do not let this trick you. He does get hangovers. He gets. I'm the same way. I don't get hangovers either.
I have tried. I do not cheat. I have tried. I've actually tried to get drunk enough to have a hangover, and it did not work. My ex at the time, though, my ex at the time was sick as a dog.
So he makes Borks. I am also taking that clip of Antwon yelling, "I do not cheat," and that will be your next sound effect for next week. He gave us gold. If you also chat, you can utilize the sound effects and stuff. The commands are in the Discord. But we do love you. We will see you later. Hopefully next week. Bye.
Never gonna give
Nice.
you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. I'm never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
No, no, no! You're not listening to this! No!
Never gonna tell a
No!
lie and
Fucking
hurt
no!
you.
I'm not bloody... I'm not listening to this. I'm not.